Hello, everybody. You are listening to Phoenix 92.5 FM. It is Monday, the day after Survivor Series, November 20th, 2017, and this is Rescue International Desk number 308. It's very hard to say, not 205 live after watching last night. They watched the whole pre-show, and all they did was keep going on about 205 live. But anyway, my name is Darragh Connor, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Mr. Brin. Brin, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Tired.
Bad.
Tired. Upset.
I did the smart thing and watched it this morning.
No, I took the day off work solely to watch Survivor Series, and boy was I left underwhelmed. Yeah, no,
I was left whelmed by the show. I mean, I wouldn't,
I don't know. Well, look, when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are on the pre-show,
that's sad.
That's sad, and it also shows that they done effed up,
Well, I think when you consider that, like, the storyline was that they weren't going to be on the SmackDown team, they were always going to be on the pre-show.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
because they got kicked off the tour after they both lost their matches to be on the Team SmackDown Live thing. So it's
true, but it's like they're now joining Matt Hardy on the pre-show, and these are not places you want to be,
No, it's not. It's also, but this is also, I think, the first time in Kevin's tenure that he's been on the pre-show.
Yeah, true.
His entire time in WWE, and he's only been on a pre-show now. That's crazy.
True. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, but I mean, it's everyone gets one.
Yeah.
How many times were the Usos and the New Day on pre-shows this year?
Yeah, but the Usos suck.
The Usos were also on the main show today, so it's not. I don't think it's indicative of anything.
That's true. I don't know. It's like, well, the Usos don't suck anymore. Ever since they stole LAX's gimmick, they've improved quite a lot. Yeah, but no, it was okay. It wasn't a bad show. It was a show, and you know what this reminded me of? This is why I don't like Survivor Series as a pay-per-view. I don't think I've ever talked to this before. I actually really dislike Survivor Series as a show. As a concept, I think it's stupid. The 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination thing works in this context only because it is brand versus brand.
Yeah, I
think it works. It's like it's the most logical reason for having a traditional Survivor Series match, because I remember watching it even back in 1999, and this show actually felt a lot like Survivor Series 1999 to me, and that was the infamous one where Stone Cold Steve Austin got run over by Rikishi.
Because Rikishi did it for The Rock.
Who did it for The Rock. But yeah, I remember watching that and I'm just like, oh man, this is a really, really boring show, and it was because of the traditional matches. Now, I know some people love them, but I like this year at least that it made sense. It's for bragging rights. They really pumped up, the Raw versus SmackDown kind of thing. I thought the shirts that the Shield were wearing were really sick. Thought they were really cool.
Yeah. I'm quite fond of elimination tag matches in general.
Oh, me
I think
too.
I think it's just refreshing to see it, but I think a lot of the times it can just be kind of like a very weak premise for a team existing. Remember the one where it was DX and the Hardys and CM Punk on a team?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I think the factions have to be stronger, and I think, especially with the way things are going in NXT, I kind of feel like if they do actually develop the idea of there being factions, because that just seems to be an easier way to book things when you have larger groups of people who are affiliated together. It makes it easier to kind of
because the matches write themselves. It's like you don't have to have motivations for guy X to fight girl Y, or for girl Y to fight girl X. It's just they do it because they're all part of the group. Yeah, it's like DX and the Hart Foundation. It was never. It was never
RDX in the Nation of Domination.
Sorry.
RDX against DX.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like
MDX, they ruined DX.
There was no reason. There was no real overarching reason for those guys to fight, individual reason. It was just all part of, well, they're fighting each other. Or then let's go with the Union and the Ministry of Darkness or the Corporate Ministry. It was like, it was never weird to see someone come out and beat up Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Who was a member of
Unless they were the Job Squad, and then that is weird.
That was weird. But then again, you know what I mean? there's so much built in there already.
Yeah.
Compared to
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It just I think the problem with this show was less like why they were fighting, but more kind of
that's pretty weak.
The placement of things kind of bothered me. Like I think it would have been better if the closure was AJ versus Brock. Personally, just because like when Brock entered and Michael Cole said Brock has to win this match so that Brock can equalize, like, well, I wonder who's going to win some.
Yeah.
But
this is what Michael Cole does all the time. It's like instead of selling the match or building expectation, he's like, well, that thing that you think's going to happen. Guess what's going to happen, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what he does. He's king of it. Like,
but I think the thing is, I don't even know if that's like necessarily a fault with him as much as it is that like
he listens to Vince too much in the headset.
Yeah, because like I mean, it's very much, but I think it's also that like they have a real problem of like overfeeding premises and overfeeding your expectations. Like even I talked about it back with the UK Championship where Tyler Bate, like where Pete Dunne injured Tyler Bate before the match, and you go, well, I wonder how Tyler Bate's going to overcome this and win. Like,
this and win.
That's what you expect to see happen. It immediately kind of you go like, well, I know what's happening. Like if you watch enough wrestling, I know what's happening now. Yeah. Like it's not. I kind of wish that they would do more to kind of, or like at least if he was going to.
You wish wrestling wasn't wrestling sometimes.
Yeah, but like even if like I would have loved if Cole said that and then AJ won to be like, oh, look how they misdirected me, like. But there's enough going against AJ.
But what's our rule with WWE?
It's fun and interesting. It won't.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the rule. If it's fun and interesting in any way, WWE either will do the opposite of it or just forget about it completely.
But like it's also the fact that like in the back of your mind, if you've been watching long enough, you're going, well, they're saving Brock losing for Roman Reigns, so like.
So he can win the belt back that nobody wants him to win.
Yeah.
The biggest pop he had in mind, he's getting over now, but because he's with the Shield.
Yeah, but it's still not stopping the Roman sucks chance either, though, is it?
Like, they're tempered.
Yeah, but they love the Shield. They just don't like Roman being the guy in the Shield. They want him to be one of the guys in the Shield, not the only guy in the.
They want Seth Rollins, they want Dean Ambrose, but they're happy that Roman's there. But they're just like, as soon as you get too big for your boots, you're getting booed.
But it's essentially the Coonan friends from South Park as the Shield, And you're going like, well, why couldn't we be called anything else? It's like,
Oh my god, that's so true. But no, like that's it, And I was watching the show, and to go through it, the main of it, the pre-show was actually not terrible. Like I liked Enzo and Kalisto. I thought that actually was decent.
I completely missed that, man. Missed the pre-show, so like
it was okay. It actually wasn't bad, and Elias defeating Matt Hardy was completely pointless. The video packages bookending the two of those, that match was better. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeated Breezango. Well, that was what it was. If it was never going to be anything else. It was sad. It was sad for everybody involved.
Like
everybody involved. Nobody won there. Everybody lost.
Yeah. No one got over, and no one went over.
No one was happy. It was just like, go out there and come back to catering, like, and that's exactly what happened. But then the show kicked off with the Shield defeating the New Day, an interbrand tag team match. At no way did the New Day look like they had any chance of even winning. So it was one of those matches that was completely pointless.
Yeah, but there's some cool moments in it. I really liked the double midnight hour spot. I thought that was cool. But like you kind of just knew, it's like, okay, New Day's hit everything, and we still haven't seen a triple power bomb. So okay,
Yeah.
like,
It was paint by the numbers WWE booking again.
well, just like even like paint by the numbers WWE storytelling. Again, if it could have been more, again, it's that thing of like it would be more interesting if New Day beat the Shield, but no.
Yeah, but then where would they go? It's the Shield, they're a comedy group.
Yeah.
And
but it's also that comedy group that makes them more money than the Shield does. So
that's true. But then again, it's it's one of those kind of things where they book themselves into a corner where there has to be a winner. It's an elimination tag match. Oh, sorry, it's a interbrand tag team match. There has to be a winner here. So they have to go with their quote unquote main event guys, which they did. It's like the DX CM Punk elimination match a couple of years ago. It's like there's no way DX are losing this. There's just no way.
No, but it was like, it's the Hardy Boys, one of their most successful tag teams ever, with DX, two of their main eventers, and then CM Punk, and you're like, CM Punk might eat a pin out of that team, but that's it.
Yeah, it's like there's no way anything else is happening here. It's just it's obvious. Team Raw and Team SmackDown. It was the ladies' turn there for the 5-on-5 interbrand elimination match. It was okay. I wasn't offended by it. I really like the SmackDown girls a lot, actually.
First time in forever, I actually really enjoyed seeing both Tamina and Nia in the ring.
Yeah, I was shocked.
They have chemistry together. Why don't they have chemistry with anyone else? Like,
I have no idea. But since going to the house show and actually watching more of the ladies working,
you've got more time for them.
I have a lot more time for them. Yeah, and I love women wrestling, but for some reason the SmackDown girls never clicked with me really as much as like Asuka or Bayley or Sasha did. But
I mean, like, Becky has always been my girl. I've always
Becky goes without saying, but like I mean, Naomi. I actually really like Naomi now. Shocking, I know. Carmella was really good. I don't hate Natalya, and Tamina, as you said, with Nia, she was really good. But other than that,
I kind of want the two of them to become a tag team now.
They would be. They'd be like Kane, the Big Show.
Yeah, but with women. Yeah. So it's never been like you've never seen that before.
It's never been done. No, that would be a good idea.
Hire back Kong, and then you've got a hell of a trio.
You have a hell of a stable. You really do. It kind of writes itself. Ladies of Pain, or I don't know, something like that.
Like you could call them anything really. I'd say like probably like stay away from All of Pain just because of Authors of Pain.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate the Authors of Pain name. Oh, it's so dumb. Anyway,
it's so dumb.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Like.
The really sad thing is, like I used to have a create a wrestler thing that I created when I was 15 years old, and it's like Authors of Pain is eerily similar to something that 15-year-old me thought up, and I'm just like, that's not a good thing, WWE.
That's going backwards. We don't need to remind ourselves of what we were like when we were 15.
No.
Okay, so Team Raw won. And that was a decent match. Baron Corbin defeated The Miz. And again, like, I actually had a number of different people text me during this, talking to a few people during it. And they're like, I hate Baron Corbin. I'm like, I know, right? I don't know why. No one can figure out why. It's like some people said, I hate his hairline. I'm like, that's a bit ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, okay, it is fierce, distracting, like, but I don't know. It's just I don't know why I don't like Baron Corbin, because he's a big dude he's a big dude with a great look, really good moveset, has a great presence, all the things that WWE wants in their top guys. But it's just watching when you're just like,
except for one small thing.
What?
Every time he throws a punch, look at his face and tell me that he's intimidating. Like,
fair, yeah. See, that's it. He's not intimidating, like,
no,
at all.
Like he's literally got a baby's face with a prepubescent boy's beard.
He looks like Bo Dallas. Like, but like
he looks like a poorly tanned Bo Dallas.
Yeah, no, he looks like an Elseworld Bo Dallas. Where you're just like, what happened? What happened?
Yep. Like Bo can kind of pull off crazy looking and by proxy intimidating. I don't like. I don't think Baron just doesn't seem like he has the the character performing chops to
But like,
kind of go to that kind of a place,
it's weird.
where he
Like,
could make himself a bit silly.
well, it's weird. You know, the way some people say there's the it factor or whatever. It's like
Mm.
he just doesn't have the it factor, and yeah, he doesn't have it. And I hate to say that because it's so stereotypical and vague, but it's like it's true. Like it's
Mm.
there's no reason at all for him to not get over or for him to not be like Vivid. But it's not just
Yeah.
me. It's everyone who I talk to. They're all like, I don't know why I don't like Bo Dallas. you know?
Yeah, I know I like Bo Dallas, but I think it's also because I just enjoyed him ever since he had his heel run in NXT because he's like
Okay, fair enough.
because he actually allowed himself to be silly and to I mean I think he has one of the creepiest smiles in wrestling in general.
Yeah, okay,
Uh,
that's fair enough.
I'm just dying to see if they can get your man Marty the Moss from NXT and put the two of them in a tag team together, and I'll be delighted
Ah, best tag
because
team
both
ever.
of them can be creepy together.
Yeah.
Um,
Why be creepy alone when you can be creepy together?
Yeah.
That should be their tagline. That'd be awesome.
That'd be
Um,
great.
yeah, but like Baron Corbin obviously went over. They're grooming him for big things. Even in the house show circuit, he's been picking up the W's left, right, and center. But again, unless they change up something with him,
I
I don't
think
know
he
what
needs
it
a
is.
mask
A mask, yeah, a mask would work.
personally,
Actually, a mask would
because
work.
his biggest problem is his face,
Yeah,
and it's the fact that he has really awful hair.
yeah,
He
he does.
has his entire head just needs to be covered with a mask.
It's like,
And
dude, like either shave it or put a mask on it or wear a hat or
yeah, wear a hat.
or a mask, just something to kind of like hide your
Yeah.
face, and you'd be grand because he's so distracting. Like it's just
Yeah. I'd almost admire them if they actually went can you try and make wearing a toupee work? And have him because it would just be so funny. I think I just want him to see him like do something more to show personality. Because anyone who's been if you look at almost anyone who's been really successful in wrestling, they usually have a range of emotional stability that they can be in where they allow themselves to be comedic
But look at
to some
Kane.
extent.
Look at Kane.
Yeah, but
Somebody
you
somebody
know,
who went from like the darkest character you can possibly
to
think of.
doing the Kane Rooney in 4 years,
Exactly.
like
But
you
then
know,
but then again, like he went through. Glenn Jacobs had a
yeah,
weird look and a very distracting look, and he put a mask on him. And he was always a big intimidating guy with the stereotypical look, but the if factor wasn't there. There's no if factor there with he was fake Diesel. That didn't
yeah.
work.
Isaac Yankem.
Isaac Yankem, that's what I mean. Isaac Yankem never would have been, wouldn't still be around
No,
today. You know, and
but
I
you put
don't.
a mask on him and he's able to look like a cyborg. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
think Baron Corbin need to do something with him where they put him
yeah,
in the same kind of world. I'm not saying rip off Kane, but give him some sort of intimidating mask. Give him some sort of aura so he could actually
yeah,
tap into that. Because look, it does wonders for Finn, and Finn doesn't look weird. It's
yeah. But I think especially when you're dealing with because WWE is way more focused on it being an entertainment product than being a sports product. You might as well just go tap into as much lucha libre as possible
yeah.
and kind of embrace all the stuff that is available once you do that.
Just
Because
dress him,
I mean he could definitely.
just dress him up like a Power Ranger villain.
I get Bryan Cranston to voice act for him.
Yeah, it's just like they're not really tempered by anything. It's other than lack of creativity. You know,
Yeah,
like if you want them to come
but
out as
it's
if you
just
want if you
it's
well if
just they're very safe,
but if you
you
want them to
know.
come out as an ultimate badass, book them like that.
Yeah,
When Undertaker came out when he was doing the American Badass thing, he had a do rag. Just
yeah,
give him a do rag on a bike or something. Anything instead of just coming out and looking really awkward and weird. Because everything else is there. Now his finisher, admittedly, is pretty bad. His finisher is atrocious.
His finish could be really good if
he did it properly.
Well, it's not even if he did it properly, but like it should always. I always feel like it should look less clunky than it is.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of just like he's going for it and then just leaves them.
Yeah, I think it's because like I expect him to kind of treat the move the same way that Abyss treats the Black Hole Slam, where he kind of just catches them and just destroys them with the slam.
There you go.
Like, no, I'm gonna pull you into this move, and you're like, no, dude, you catch them. Like,
there you go.
You know,
just
it's a setup. You set up move like a pop a powerbomb.
Just make him Abyss.
Then.
That would work. Actually, that's
just thinner Abyss.
Yeah, that's actually that would work.
Will he go through tax? Will he set up tax and get put through them? Like,
well, he's getting paid. But like that's they could make him Abyss. Well, they could obviously PG up a bit. I don't think you've seen Glass and Thumbtacks in WWE anytime soon.
No. Our barbed wire matches.
Actually, one of the best DVDs you'll ever watch for like just the array of bodily punishment that a professional's going to put himself through is the Best of Abyss TNA DVD. It's phenomenal. It's really good. But you're like, man,
that poor man.
Like, in the same match he has like barbed wire cage matches, glass matches, thumbtack matches, fire, monsters balls. It's crazy. But like. Yeah, like Baron Corbin, this section could be called like, the how to save Baron Corbin. Just make him a PG version of Abyss, where they
ostensibly.
Like,
God forbid, even make him just like tall relic, and they might be onto a winner. No,
what you do is you make a call to James Mitchell. You're like, here you go. We're gonna throw this money at you. Come in. And then,
could you imagine if they did Lesnar versus like a masked Baron Corbin with Mitchell versus Heyman?
Doesn't it write itself? That would be amazing. It would be so good. And like the two of them don't have to talk. You can have James Mitchell, who's still he was on television a couple of months ago, and he looks great.
He's a skinhead now, and he looks scarier now.
He looks
great.
So much more evil now. And they could do that with the two of them, and like Baron Corbin, take him off TV for a little while, do an injury angle. Someone.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar puts him out or something, and then comes back at the Royal Rumble or a little bit before and just destroys Brock. There you go. Like it's not hard. It's wrestling. it's not hard to make this. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But they're not going to do it because it's fun and interesting. WWE will not do that. Anyway, so moving forward.
Curse these rules.
Man, we should have them like on top of the website. WWE's rules.
Is it fun? Don't do it. Is it interesting? Definitely don't do it.
Hold on, we need to look at the checkboard. No, it's not happening today. What's safe? What do I get?
It's funny and interesting. We're not going to do it, but it involves Triple H. Do it.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, but like that's kind of the rules. Like, we've got something fun and interesting. Don't do it. Involves Kurt Angle. Okay, do it. We've got something fun and interesting. Don't do it. Involves John Cena. Do it. Like, it's not hard.
It's like a flow chart. It's like, does it involve this? No. Okay, don't do it. It does involve this? Yes, do it. By the way, guys, if you want to check out our website, it's WViDesk.com. And, of course, our YouTube channel is WViDesk 2016. Okay, so moving forward, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship was defended against... Well, it wasn't defended. It was a non-title championship versus championship match. And the Raw champions were Cesaro and Sheamus. So the Usos actually won this one, so fair play to them.
Yep.
Good bunch of lads.
The Usos, a great bunch of lads.
A great bunch of lads. Well, everyone else really nice to say about them. They're just being LAX, and I'm like, well, I love LAX. I'm like, I've seen this before. I've seen it 12 years ago. So
Yeah.
Good job.
Like, I'm not a big fan of the Cesaro and Sheamus team up.
Yeah, it's run its course.
Well, it's not even like it's run its course. It's just that like I never felt like it was on course. It's just
never
like
went anywhere.
It's just like a joke that they beat into the ground, and then they just kept doing it, and you're like, you're still making this joke? Oh, okay. Like you could. You could try and do something with Cesaro. Oh wait, no, sorry, fun and interesting. Damn it.
Fun and interesting. It's so easy. Like, you know what? WWE headquarters must have that, like, in the writers' room, where it's just like that's like the two commandments.
When do you
You
think
know.
Jimmy Jacobs got fired?
Oh man. But
Oh.
that's probably what's going on, because there's no other way I can
No other
justify.
way to rationalize it. It's just that, like, if it's fun and interesting, you're not
Yeah,
allowed to do it
it,
until it involves like
it's like,
a select group of people,
yeah,
and they should have a McMahon in their name preferably.
the mental gymnastics that it takes to actively ruin their show or make it so mediocre must be incredible, because we're just making jokes, and the jokes are better than what we saw on television last night.
That's really sad.
It makes no sense. It's just I don't get it. I'm like, you have this product, you have really talented people, you have hours of TV time, and you're just
Mm.
doing the bare minimum, which requires more effort than actually trying something. You know, I don't know. Like Vince Russo, right? We're evoking Vince Russo. Vince Russo was writing like what, 3 shows a week or something
Yeah,
by himself, and all he
yeah,
was doing was just throwing crap at the wall. And some of it worked because they were trying stuff. Now I'm not saying that was a good way to write television, because
yeah.
he had a filter, but
But I think you're just going to say at least he had ideas.
at least he had ideas. Yeah, it's the same way I see the Star Wars movies now. I'm like, you know what? The prequels were the prequels, but at least they tried new things. They just didn't make
Yeah,
the same movie
yeah.
4 times.
And they tried stuff. It just wasn't
It
good, but
just
they
wasn't
tried
good. Yeah, it's
something.
like I would rather someone tried and it'd be terrible. Fail as yourself
Yeah,
instead of failing
yeah.
as someone
Oh
else.
yeah.
You
Like
know?
as much as the atrocity as the room is a film, at least he tried to make a film,
Well, look,
and
okay,
tried to tell a story.
okay. Let's put it this way: the room's an atrocity, but the disaster artist is coming out, and now he'll live
Yeah.
forever. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
it's like,
I mean, it's like, but it's like it's an unintentional, like he did not intend for it to be a success the way that it is, but it's a
no.
success.
Oh yeah. No,
Like
but like here, if he had just played it safe and made a really crappy student film, that wasn't as weird and bizarre as that. No, he would have
mm.
failed his course and nobody ever would have heard from him again. But no, by going fully for it and just going, you know what? Yeah, we're going to have
I
terrible
drew the
TV.
sonnet.
Yeah, I just thought it. It's
Yeah.
like,
Just being so unaware of how bad he is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm gonna shoot the whole thing slightly off center because we're using two cameras that aren't focused. Yeah, we're gonna use terrible CGI. Yeah,
yeah.
the writing's,
Yeah, we're going to shoot everything in HD and in 35 millimeter and see and combine the footage. Like,
yeah, we're gonna have random scenes where people are playing football in tuxedos for no discernible reason. It's just like,
the mom gets cancer. It's not a big deal.
it's
It's
not a,
fine.
it's not a big deal.
She enjoys it.
She just
Like,
she just brushes it off like it's no big deal. But you see, none of those things are good ideas. They're all like really bad ideas. But at least they were trying to do something different. And look, people latched onto it, and that's how cult films and cult indie films happen. They become famous in their obscurity. And in WWE, I'm
it's
not.
like, but it's like the thing, like Baron Corbin's just like a microcosm for WWE as a whole. If they allow themselves to just be, like, WWE suffers from having so little variety in its show
Yeah,
that, like, it's all like, this show is 4 hours long and it's very one note.
yeah,
You know, like, one of the reasons why I think a lot of people who are into indies got really into PWG for a while was that it was not a one note show. You had all these different flavors of matches, all these different flavors of performance happening, and it was amazing. But if all your matches are just like, so they have a match and someone wins, it's not like, that's all tonight was. It's just they have a match and someone wins, and there's not really like,
but
oh yeah, but like this person's flamboyant or this person's interesting,
it's
or
not even it's not even that they have a match and somebody wins. It's that they have a match, somebody wins and nothing happens.
Yep.
Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
like if it was a case of they had a match, somebody wins, and there was a reason for it,
Yeah.
fine. None of that.
Like,
Just
none of this stuff's going to matter in 2 weeks' time.
No, everybody forgot. Like, the only match that actually had there's only 2 matches that had consequence. One, the main event, the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown match, where if Raw lost, Kurt Angle would have been fired. Guess who won? Raw won. So it didn't matter. Okay, the other one was the Universal Champion going against AJ Styles. Okay, non-title. So again, it didn't matter. There's only one title defended on this whole show. So it didn't.
That was the cruiserweight, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was on a pre-show. Yeah. So it didn't matter. Like, all of these matches really didn't matter.
No.
But I was really interested. I have to say, compared, like, when.
I think they told a really good story building up to why each match was happening.
Until AJ was added into the Interbrand champion versus champion match.
Yeah.
I was not interested at all. I really wasn't.
No, you're going, okay, well, Brock's going to kill Jinder in 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be suplex. It's going to be suplex city all day, and we're going to have the same match that we've seen over and over again. And I think the match we got with AJ and Brock was a hell of a lot better.
So good.
It was phenomenal. Sorry for the thing, but it was. It's just the way.
But they did such a good job of like making it believable that AJ could compete with Brock.
Yeah.
That's
what you want. That's the whole point of wrestling. We all know it's fake and scripted, but when it's good, you're supposed to forget that and be like, oh man, this could actually happen, and that's what we got.
Yeah, like you genuinely feel like there's a chance that AJ could win, and that's the coolest thing. But like, I mean, I still feel like that show ended. I'm really hoping that like the close of the men's Survivor Series match with Braun having a bit of a war of words with Triple H actually leads to WrestleMania match and not to something else, because I'd much rather that than the matches I have heard people say are going to happen.
Like what? What have you heard?
Triple H versus Kurt, or Triple H versus Shane.
Oh no, they're not good.
Doesn't that just sound dreadful?
I don't want Shane anywhere near a wrestling match.
Either of them.
Well, no, Triple H should have all the belts, but it's like.
Yeah, but Triple H versus Braun would be so much more interesting.
Yeah, no, true. Well,
and because Triple H is involved, it might actually happen for Braun.
True, and I do think that there's a lot of leeway there, and I think we're not in WrestleMania season yet. We're not even past the Royal Rumble, so we'll see how it goes, but. Survivor Series again, it's better than it was. Like, I used to hate watching Survivor Series or even talking about Survivor Series because it was so boring. At least doing it this way, where they kind of have the bragging rights thing, it makes some sort of sense. I think the best thing that Survivor Series could have done was done by NXT the night before.
Oh, what they did at the weekend, yeah.
Like that's what Survivor Series should be.
Yeah.
Like, that's the show that it should be. And it's less booking.
Wargames was such a good show.
Yeah, of course it was.
Top to bottom, such a good show.
But like, I have to say, I have to hand it to Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano. I
missed the pre-show for that too.
It was what it was. But I do have to say that, like, I really liked a lot of the matches. Particularly the women's match was very good.
Yeah, the 4-way was great. I thought Ember was the right winner for it personally.
Yeah.
Just because she's been chasing that belt all year long.
Yeah, well, it's like it was the right decision. Ember Moon, it was going to be the face of NXT women's wrestling for a while. She fills that void that's been left with Asuka going.
But I mean, Peyton will probably pick up the belt from her soon enough.
Maybe,
I mean, she's
but
really improved though. Not Billie Kay. She's awful.
No, she has long ways to go.
Yes.
I was disappointed that Drew McIntyre lost, but that just means that Drew's probably going to be called up soon.
Yeah, that's the only reason I can think that he would win it, because there's just so many heels who are in position, who were kind of in line to win the title, that are surprised that CN won.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really hoping CN rises to the occasion because I don't think we've seen enough of him as a heel yet
No, not yet.
to
No, but
really like.
he will though. It's just I think like NXT it does this, where it goes through its reset phase. I think this was its reset phase going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, the main title belt was kind of like in the doldrums since Bobby Roode won it.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that like that main event scene is going to get crowded, especially after seeing the performance that Black and Dream had. Oh my God, what a great match!
Phenomenal, it really was.
Yeah.
Like I have to say, you forget how long not how long WWE is compared to watching one of these shows where everything is tight, compact, all the
Yeah,
space is
yeah.
used.
It's like it's an hour shorter.
Yeah.
And oh boy,
But
you just get so much content
like
for that hour.
at no point he's sitting there going, "Oh my God, this is killing me." You're actually watching it, like you want to watch it again. I'll probably watch it. Well, I will watch it. I'll watch it probably on the plane over on Wednesday. But such a phenomenal show, and again capped off by what should have been. And again, I'll say it again, it should have been on Survivor Series.
I'm glad that it wasn't though.
No, but like it's a concept that is too good to be not wasted on NXT. But like the guys who are in it, the Undisputed Era, the Authors of Pain, and Sanity. Yeah, they're the guys who obviously will work a much better match. They're a lot younger, and they're able to put up with the punishment of a Wargames match. But the spectacle of it alone is just it deserves to be on a bigger world stage.
Yeah. Well, it might happen soon enough, just because we have seen these concept matches be used on NXT first, and then a couple months down the line, like I don't think that it's out of the question that we wouldn't see a War Games around the beginning of the summer.
Yeah. Well, it just makes sense, Like I think actually having every NXT show having some sort of gimmick or in tying in some way is better than just having a show. And at least Survivor Series kind of did that with its inter-brand thing, but that's they booked themselves into a corner a little bit by forcing the 5-on-5 traditional elimination match, because that is the traditional the Survivor Series thing. But the 6-man interbrand tag team match, you could have thrown in the two champions from the two tag team champions and made a team there.
Or I still don't understand why they don't do where you have the tag team champions, the two singles champions, and then one other person, kind of to make up the all-star team.
Yeah,
they make up an all-star team. I don't think that's out of the question.
No, but that could have been done there. Where you could have had had the Shield.
Finn or Joe.
No, well, no. This is they're already in the thing in the main event. But let's just go to the Shield match for a moment, right? You have Dean and Rollins, right, fighting Kofi and Xavier Woods. Let's just say, right. That leaves Roman Reigns and Big E. You could have had one team of Jimmy and Jay and Big E going against Cesaro, Sheamus, and Roman Reigns as one team in War Games, and then plugged in another one somehow. Heck, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and
Sin Cara,
or someone, Matt Hardy or whoever, in that one, and then that would have been used better than how they were used on that show.
Absolutely, it's just. It's a shame though, because it's just I think it's just really hard for them to kind of come up with consistent ideas for everyone for them to be used appropriately.
Yeah, but it's again, it's not that they don't have the resources, they don't have the time. They are tying their hands behind their back and they're just blindly poking at this button to try and make stuff happen. And that's what the show seemed like. It seemed like it had the potential to be great. I have to say, if the AJ thing wasn't changed, can you imagine how annoyed we would have been about the show? Literally nothing would have happened.
Oh, Oh God,
Says it all. Says it all. You know.
But I think you would just be going like, I can't wait for the main event. I can't wait for the main event. I can't wait for the main event the entire way through.
Yeah.
You know, because you'd be going like, oh, this match has consequences. It has something interesting happening.
Yeah.
You know, because like at least with the main event, you know, you're going, okay, well, Sammy and Kevin are going to come out. It's got to happen. You know, like you know that there's going to be a bunch of infighting. You know, there's going to be a bunch of different, you know, combustible elements going off. You didn't really get that impression from the rest of the show.
No.
You know,
yeah,
you knew in the women's one, you were just going to get Asuka getting like who would go up against a bunch of SmackDown girls and win. You know,
I get it. I understand why WWE do what they do. You know, they obviously have to provide a certain product and a consistent product, but consistency and boring are not the same thing. And that's what we got here.
Predictable, like being predictable isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just like because sometimes predictability is like necessary because it makes you sometimes you just want it that much more.
Yeah,
and you're looking forward to it. But I don't know. I feel like especially when they have these shows that are several hours long, it makes it difficult to kind of go, oh, I'm looking forward to this match, and then by the time it comes, you're like looking forward to the end of the show. You know, like.
Yeah. Like when you're looking at the clock and you're like, whoa, it's late. I want to go home. And remember, this show started at 12 o'clock our time, so started an hour earlier than it normally did.
Yeah.
So that's not including the pre-show. The pre-show started at like 11 o'clock. So again, it started earlier, and by the end of it, I was still like, oh, I can't wait for this show to be over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that says it all, really. You know, WWE, if they want their show to have a broader appeal and bring in the fans that they want and bring in new fans, all kinds of stuff, just do things. You know, do something interesting. Just be your NXT. You know, because again, I know people who love NXT will not watch the main product. I know people who aren't even aware of NXT, and then when they hear about it, they're like, well, that sounds nothing like WWE, and that's the truth of it. You know, it's it's great because it's not like WWE, and that's that's really snarky and smart to say, but it's true.
Like, but it's the indies on a higher budget.
Yeah,
that's all NXT is really.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and it's nice. It's like I'm not one to kind of go, oh, NXT is so much better, but it's pleasant viewing because like it's much more catered towards the hardcore fan base because it's like everything the hardcore fan base want is present on NXT.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it. Yeah, it's meted out better. It looks better. It has a a higher production budget, all that kind of stuff. But
everything about it, like even the opening music for the show is much more what wrestling fans expect out of a wrestling show.
Yeah. Like WWE, the crazy thing about it is we're not like wrestling fans. We are not asking for blood and guts and violence and chair shots and
If I wanted that, I'd watch CCW.
Yeah, like that exists. You don't need to see that. And again, if I wanted to watch that, if I really wanted to watch that from WWE, I'd just go and watch some ridiculous stuff they've done in the Attitude Era. Yeah. That's not what it is. It's just something that isn't so boring. That isn't the same every single week with no consequences.
Even just like I'd just kill for something to be concise. Oh, couldn't we just have concise storytelling?
Or concise show. 5-hour WrestleMania is not necessary. An 8-hour WrestleMania is not necessary.
Yeah.
A 3-hour WrestleMania, that's fine. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I can even accept like a 4-hour WrestleMania because you know what? It happens once a year.
But here's the thing. It's the same thing that people are saying with the Justice League film now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to get into. We're not going to get into this because that's a podcast in itself. I really liked it. I thought it was great. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. I don't care. I'm a Batman fan. Whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I actually thought it was really fun, and that was cut down to 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
And people were saying, oh, why was it cut down to 2 hours? But then the same people were saying, Zack Snyder's Batman versus Superman was like nearly 3 hours. That was ridiculous. And again, it should have been the other way around.
It was cut down because they saw how much their extended edition DVD sales do.
Exactly. But the thing about it is, swap that around. Have Batman versus Superman 2 hours and have Justice League 3 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. But but this is the thing is that like certain like certain stories don't need to be overblown or to be delivered with I remember seeing someone on Reddit, I believe, people always complain about wanting more complex storytelling, and then when they get something as detailed as like Stephanie making Triple H the fifth man against Kurt, it's like, yeah, that's great and all, but here's the problem. I really want complex storytelling for Braun Strowman. I really want complex storytelling for Finn Balor and Samoa Joe and even Elias Sampson. I don't really want it for the people who've been on my TV screen since 2000.
But again, dude, remember, the thing about it is, the McMahons still booking themselves into wrestling matches.
Oh, yeah.
It's just something they can never not do.
Well, ever since they started doing that, they haven't been able to stop.
Yeah, well, like, Vince obviously, was there and he did it, but then we had Stephanie. Like, Shane, don't get me wrong, right? Shane had some phenomenal matches.
Yep.
10 years ago.
15 years ago.
15 years ago, even. Since he's come back to the ring, no. Like, I don't want to see you jump off things anymore. I'm grand. Don't need to see that anymore. Stephanie actually was a pretty good worker, and she's a great character, but I don't need to see her in every Triple H in every match. I'm fine with that. But other than that,
I know. But you do understand what I'm saying, though.
No, I do know what you're saying.
I love William Regal, but I'd hate the idea of him wrestling again.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I know. Like, everyone's time has come, and everyone's time has gone in wrestling. That's just the way it is. But it is just a case of the McMahon's not been able to say no. And enough is enough. And understand that they're hurting their own product. And you know what? What's bizarre to me is I'm like, look, this is your business. This is where all your money comes from. It's like, wouldn't you want them to make more money? That's. Yeah,
but I think they believe that the money is with them and not with their talent.
Okay, well that's just ridiculous. That.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy.
Like. I think the thing is, like, because they're a publicly traded company now, they're kind of stuck between that rock and a hard place of like doing what they need to do to make their product better, and doing what will make make their shareholders happy. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Really, just downsize a little bit and do smaller arenas and make the show shorter, and but shareholders aren't like that.
Like, there is a lot of business stuff going on in the background with WWE that obviously makes a lot of this stuff either pie in the sky or just not feasible. But at the end of the day, if you ride the business into the ground, you see what happened with EA, where EA right now are probably going to lose their Star Wars license because of how much they bled their consumers.
Yep.
And this is the speculation. They bled their consumers to the extent that Disney stepped in and said, we are undoing this, and you're probably going to get your license revoked from making Star Wars games. Like, that's what happens.
You know what? Good, though. Like,
it needed to be done. And, if WWE don't realize that, eventually people are going to be like, well, it's like...
Well, eventually like the fan base will kind of will start to realize that there is other stuff out there for them.
Yes.
Like, slowly but surely people are hearing about it. I mean, like, the attendances for local wrestling kind of attest to that, seeing as like there's record numbers almost every significant indie.
Dude, remember correctly? Remember I said last week that when we were at the house show, we got upgraded because the attendance was so low.
That's never happened. That's one of the few times, like, that doesn't happen that often here.
Doesn't happen here because we don't get wrestling here.
Well, we do now.
Well,
nothing WWE.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, I have to say now, the OTT show that's coming up soon, next month, I am going to that, and that's going to be sold out. I haven't got to think about it. I really want to go to it because
I'm dying to go to it too.
It's great. It's going to have Elite. It's going to be great. Yeah. It's going to be great, and I can't wait to see it. But the
also, Devlin versus Haskins is going to be a sick match.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That'll be sold out, or mostly full.
Yeah,
and it'll be a small arena.
Where are they doing that? In the Tivoli?
No, they're doing it in the National Stadium.
Oh, are they? That's what, 1,000 seater?
1,500, I think. Yeah.
1,500. Yeah, it's not exactly like something that make WWE go, oh dear, but like, you know, if OTT keep going the way they are, it won't be that long before they're able to actually do dates in the 3.
Yeah.
You know,
but no, it's just like WWE won't go oh dear, but like let's put it this way: what's worse is when they can barely when they can barely fill the Trina and they're losing money. That will make them go oh dear, and I'm sure they were kind of like, oh man, we were taking a bath on this one.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the WWE are doing really, they're still like doing really well financially because they with their main markets, their house attendance is down.
Yeah.
But they keep opening new markets.
True.
You know, so like they're never, you know, they're so far ahead of ever really being in trouble fiscally from that perspective. Yeah, like they have to like cut corners and stuff. But it always just comes back to give them better. It always comes back to giving them better gains later.
I don't know. For me, it just seems like it would be a lot less effort if they just focused on their product and just get. Because here's the thing: it's like they can obviously see it from NXT how well that's doing and how successful it is. And look, even some of the kids, you know, they know these people and they watch NXT and they don't like WWE. You know, and we're not talking, 12, 13, we're talking like 8-year-olds, 8, 9-year-olds.
Yep.
You know, it's like, because remember, it's the same thing with video games. Why was Sega successful?
Because, well, it's actually because teenagers liked it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the kids want to see and play what their older brother or their cousin or whatever plays, not what is aimed for them. And I'm not saying, have something with hookers and sex and stuff, but, something that doesn't hawk down to them.
So, like, how many, like, when you, like, we're around the same age. When you were a kid, how often did you hear people talk about RoboCop and Terminator?
Oh, dude, I had RoboCop versus Terminator the game for the
like, we weren't able to watch those films, but we knew all about them.
Oh, we knew all about them and played the games and watched the TV show. It was like, that's what it was, and it was because that was cool, or that was something that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it.
Like
and I think that like NXT is very much kind of like their national scale show, and then like WWE is literally their worldwide program now.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. As far as the show goes last night, it's the same. I'm probably gonna have the same conversation about the Royal Rumble, same conversation about WrestleMania. It's just like NXT all the time shows it up. But
again, it's just got much more like it's got much more of a vision behind it.
Yeah, that's true.
Which makes it a lot like because it's got more of a vision, you can see the through lines from people winning, except for on the odd occasion when you don't see them at all. But you're still like, this is going to be interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, and that's true. No, and that's true. And I think like it's fair to sit here and kill it because it wasn't a bad show, not at all.
No,
it's just nothing.
It's just very indicative of of what it's like to watch. Like it just feels very much like I don't know if you ever like listen to Top 40 Pop at all, but if you ever do listen to it, just go, not surprised. A lot, like
that's it. It's like there was nothing that like you were sitting there and going, well, that was different. It's like, well, that's what I thought would happen, or and it's
par for the course.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not very good. It's not going to set the house on fire. It's not going to change anyone's opinion on things. It's just it is what it is. So what I say, look, if you can stomach that, well, then this show's for you. If you can't, well, then don't watch the show.
Just watch the AJ Brock match. Really,
that's all you need.
It's the only thing really on the show that's at all worth watching.
Yeah, and really that's all you need. You don't need anything else. It's typical WWE. Watch the NXT show. And and that's all I can say. But what I will
does the idea of seeing a nearly 300-pound man do a coast to coast from the top rope sound interesting to you? Then watch NXT because
because that's where you're going to get it. But no, what I would say is, for all the listeners, guys, thank you so much for listening in. Do go over to our YouTube channel, WViDesk 2016, or our website, WViDesk.com, where we have all the shows archived going all the way back. I am getting better with the archive. All the shows over there are 100% free. There is no sign-up fee. There's no enter emails. There's no nothing. We do not steal your personal data. There's no pesky JavaScript running on the website that will affect your computer. I can guarantee that. but it is all 100% free, and you guys can check it out there.
I think that stuff does sound interesting. Do go over to Patreon. So.
Yes, do. Yeah, we're going to launch a Patreon. Well, our Patreon's there, but we are updating our Patreon to include more shows, because Brin wants to do little shows going through updating on the YouTube. I will be doing that as well at some point. And then, of course, you get the full show here on Monday, as normal, on YouTube and, of course, on Phoenix 92.5 FM. So until next week, guys, we'll talk to you then.
Cool. Bye-bye.